Welcome to Episode 3, Schedule Development Process. I'm Mr. Projectrak, and today I'll walk you through a powerful 16-step process for building a fully detailed, logical, and resource-loaded project schedule. This is not just theory, this is real-world planning, built for accuracy and execution, whether you're using Primavera P6, Microsoft Project, or even a well-structured Excel spreadsheet. This method goes far beyond the basics. It's the framework professionals use when precision matters, from the planning room to the project site. Buckle up, planners. This is where smart scheduling begins. First, create a work breakdown structure, or WBS. Every good schedule starts with a strong foundation, the WBS. This is where we break down the project into manageable, logical sections, phases, work areas, trades, or deliverables. It helps organize the schedule and aligns it with how the project will be executed. Next, develop activities. We define the individual tasks under each WBS element. These should be measurable, trackable, and clearly scoped. Keep them realistic. Don't go too high level or too detailed. Use the verb-object format. Example, install rebars or pour concrete. You may find it easier to enter tasks in the order in which you think they will occur. Once activities are in place, we define the labor, equipment, and materials needed. At this point, we estimate crew sizes, shift patterns, and equipment productivity based on site conditions or past data. Now, we configure the calendars. Working days, holidays, weather conditions, and shift hours must be factored in to reflect real-world conditions. This affects how durations are calculated and how tasks will align in the timeline. Many scheduling specifications require that weather delay allowances be incorporated into the calendar. With resources and calendars set, we can now estimate durations, use standard productivity rates or historical performance to calculate how long each activity should take based on assigned resources. Some specifications require that activity durations be at least 1 day and no more than 15 days in duration. Now, we define the logic. We link each activity to its predecessor and successor using the correct relationship types, finish to start, etc. This builds the project's logic network. At this stage, we hit Schedule, F9, if you are using P6. The software computes both early and late start and finish dates. Free float and total float and critical path will be produced based on the relationships, durations, and calendars. This gives us our first draft timeline. During planning, the data date is set equal to the project start date or a predefined fiscal year start. Now we clean the logic. Remove any loops, circular dependencies, or open ends, tasks without predecessors or successors. These are common causes of broken or misleading schedules. The only open-ended activities your project should be the overall start and the overall project finish. Open-end activities contain an excessive amount of positive total float. Identify the critical path. This is the sequence of activities that determines the overall project duration. Analyze whether it makes sense in the real-world context and if it's manageable. Use tools like Primavera P6 or MS Project. Consider schedule compression techniques during this stage. You can either 1. Crashing or add resources. 2. Fast-tracking and do tasks in parallel. We now add interim milestones to represent key deliverables, deadlines, or progress targets. Also apply logical constraints like start no earlier than, finish on, or mandatory finish dates where contractually required. By this point, the project finish date should be clearly calculated. Cross-check this against the project deadline or contractual requirement and analyze if further adjustments are needed. Now we assign resource quantities and cost rates to each activity. This gives us visibility over manpower, equipment usage, and financial impact across the timeline. With cost-loaded activities in place, we can now roll up the total project cost. This becomes your initial budget baseline, critical for cash flow planning and performance tracking. Create custom activity codes to group, sort, and filter tasks. This supports layout customization, reporting, and progress tracking by phase, discipline, subcontractor, or any other meaningful category. Before finalizing the plan, conduct a risk analysis. Use Monte Carlo simulations or similar methods to identify how likely delays or cost overruns might occur and where your risk exposure lies. Finally, when everything has been checked, approved, and optimized, set the baseline. This becomes your frozen plan for tracking actual performance, progress, and earned value. This 16-step process provides full control over time, resources, cost, and risk. It's not just about building a schedule, it's about building a reliable execution plan. On next episode, we'll create a live sample using Primavera or MS Project and walk through this process together. God willing. Until next time, keep tracking.